It's a lovely morning, at least it is as I'm filming this, and it's time for another edition of an album in review on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Hope you're enjoying this series. I appreciate the feedback that I've been getting. Released on this date in 2005, Dream Theater with Octavarium. Fittingly, nothing gets past these guys. It is their 8th album, and the 8 theme just never stops. There are 8 songs on here, and this one's interesting. It was the first one they did on Atlantic Records in quite a while, because their first couple of albums were on Atco Atlantic, then East West, which kind of morphed onto Elektra. Now they were back on Atlantic Records, but this was their last album for Elektra, Atlantic, that whole Warner Music Corporation, unless you count the fact that Roadrunner ended up distributed by Warner Music. But anyway, what does it sound like? It's very typical Dream Theater. There are some more melodic songs on here, such as I Walk Beside You. I remember the first single came out was Panic Attack. That one is just relentless. It does not stop. It just hammers. The last one, Octavarium, is really interesting. It's a 24-minute song, and it has all sorts of references. And if you're really up on your Dream Theater, you know that the notes that it goes to has to do with, you know what, I'm not even smart enough to get into it all, but it's an enjoyable listen. It's just them, it's completely uncompromising Dream Theater. Never Enough is one of the interesting songs on here. It's Mike Portnoy lyric, and basically it's about fans that expect too much, and it's very plain spoken. Yeah, some brutal honesty there. First track is another one of their heaviest ones, The Root of All Evil. That could have fit on the previous album, Train of Thought. Another thing that's interesting about Octavarium is that this is the first time that the band worked with Hugh Syme, which kind of makes sense because they're kind of the modern day Rush. So they worked with Hugh Syme, I think, on pretty much everything from this album forward. And so he came up with some really cool, some artwork. Can't for the life of me, without looking it up, think of what this thing is called, where you go boink, boink, boink. But what is interesting too is that this came out the same year as AC/DC put the Family Jewels DVD collection out, in kind of a similar cover concept, but not quite the same. I mean, would I start someone off with this album? Yeah, I'd start them off with this album, because if they don't like it, they won't like anything else by Dream Theater. It's probably not the most people's go-to one, but it could be somebody's favorite. Dream Theater fans, how does Octavarium rank for you? Let me know in the comments. And thanks once again for watching this edition of an album in review on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. We'll do it again in a week's time.